Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do a really quick recap of Love is a Blind DC Child, or so they say. Season 7, episodes 10 through 11. Lord Jesus. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. To all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. And I want to say a special thank you to all of you all who have been supporting my Love is Blind videos. I really do appreciate you all. I appreciate your feedback and everything else. I truly do. Sometimes it is hard for a content creator, right, to come out of doing the same old, right? And so I really do appreciate your love and your support. So we're going to get in here real quick. We're going to hit it and quit it. And then, like we're going to be done with the book. Okay. We're going to be done with the book. So the first couple that I really want to talk about is Monica and Steve. Now, of course, we all know okay, so wait a minute, let me set the stage. So in episode 10, we had the couples, um, you know, these are the picking up the wedding dress. These are the coming back, or the cast coming back. These are the continuation of meeting the family, right? You did? Oh my goodness, Tam. You let me know if you want to drop the want me to drop the link and you can have your say so. I always value what you say. Y'all, this is my girl, just a matter of Tam. And honey, she always has fantastic insights on stuff. So if you want me to drop that link, honey, you let me know so we can get down with the get down. Okay. I would love to get your perspective on this episode, these two episodes. So like that's what's going on right now, right? So anyway, when I'm gonna hit these couples like right high level, and then we're gonna talk about it, right? Again, for all of you all who are new, I come with a different perspective. I come with an older woman's perspective, right? I don't think like the young folk. I got years of experience of relationships and all of that old kind of stuff, right? So what you hear here, you may not hear anywhere else. Okay. So, hey JW, welcome back to the membership. I know people are irritated. I usually don't be doing all this dialogue, but okay, okay. Hey JW, welcome back. So what couple do I want to start with first? The first couple I want to start with is Steve and Monica. Now, as we all know, Steve got caught lying about, being at a sleep study. He was at a sleep study, all right, but he was studying something else. And the two of them broke up. And so when they had their little reunion type thing, right? When they had their reunion type thing, Monica came, but Steve did not show. And Monica came and said that, she reached out to Steve, which I figured that she would. She reached out to Steve and, basically told us that Steve was a good man that made a bad decision. No, Steve is acting a little pervish, in my opinion. The only thing that he ever really had, and only thing he only really talked about, okay, was sex. And I just don't understand why, if you're done with a relationship, just be done with the relationship, okay, ladies? Like seriously, I know that sometimes you get a little bit lonely and or you may, have some regret about something. Live with the regret, learn how to manage through it because going back to a month like this, right? As soon as the reunion comes, he going to twist it. He is absolutely going to twist this and make her look like an idiot. Watch and see. Watch and see. The next couple that I want to talk about is is her name Marissa and what is her name? I got her name written down, child. I got it written down. Hold on. Because y'all know I'll fuck up a name. Marissa and Ramsey's, right? This couple, is staying together. I don't know why they staying together. Like this is not a match. This is not a good match. When you have to sit in the kitchen and explain to somebody about your anatomy and go through all of this old trash that she's going through with this man with two daggone plaits coming down his head, the side of his head, and then he bring his friends and his friends got the audacity to try to talk him out of being in a relationship with you, and he doesn't, really respect the things that we have here in the United States, specifically our military and all of that. Honey, I would have been let him go. I don't know why. At the end of episode 11, we saw the two of them, up and challenging now, because when they before they signed the marriage certificate, they were having these discussions, and she was feeling really insecure, about whether or not this was something that he really wanted to do. And he kept reassuring her and kept reassuring her. Okay, thank you, Ray Dalla. He kept reassuring her over and over and over again, right, that he really wanted to marry her. They pushed the button and all of that kind of stuff on the marriage license submission. And I was like, she's making a mistake. This guy, she's not into him and he's not into her. I don't know what it is. Her mother, while a lot of people have been dragging the mother out there on social media, the mother is, she wasn't accurate about the money, right? But the mother really kind of pegged him correctly. And sometimes, again, when you are looking from that perspective, right, you can see things not only in that person, right, and the person that your child may be dating, but you can also see your child, and she knows her child, and this is just not a good match for the two of them. She has learned through the pod to accept him, and I think that in the pods, a lot of these couples they trauma bond. Y'all, I'm telling you, I really do. I dropped the link. Did it come up right, Della? I dropped. Wait a minute. Did I do it wrong? I must have did it wrong. There you go. There you go. I think a lot of them, okay, I think a lot of them was trauma bonding with each other, and it just really wasn't a connection. I think that, if you absent of your phone, and I said this before, my other one, hey, Joe,
Hey,
don't you look pretty? How are you?
I'm good. I can't believe you said I look pretty. I just took a break from packing. I'm getting ready to fly out of here tomorrow. Whew.
Okay, where you going this time?
I'm gonna be teleworking from Georgia for the rest of the year, so I'm gonna be
Oh,
there
with
for
your
the
mom, down with
holidays.
your
Yeah.
mom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
Yep.
fantastic.
Yep. But
That's
yeah, I was like,
fantastic.
oh, I can take a break.
Yes, you can take a little break and you can get back. You'll be more energized. So right
uh-huh.
now I'm talking about Marissa and
Mm.
Ramsey. And I really believe that there was really no true connection between the two of them. I think that she's one of those type of people that wants to save the world and think that she can save a brother. And I think
Mm.
that, all of the trauma that he had from being from Venezuela, his previous unsuccessful marriage, his opinion and his thoughts on, the military, I just think that she felt Marissa is in a position where she wanted to save him. And she thought that she could change him, right? but she couldn't change it because this guy's adamant about who he is, right? And when I
Mhm.
was talking about them being in the kitchen and her needing to be reassured, and then in episode 11, we see him basically breaking down, right? Because he doesn't know whether or not this is something he wants to do. And she is blaming this on his friends, but she's blaming it on the friends and the interaction that they have with the friends, and the friends not particularly caring for her, right? But I believe that her first instinct in that kitchen was the real instinct. This isn't going to
Mhm.
work. He's not really sure about this. You tell me what you thought about that.
So I have number one, I'm a veteran. So, this has been really interesting to me watching
Hmm.
them talk about the military. And I was definitely offended. And honestly, more so by her than him, because I've had conversations with people that have no knowledge of what the military really represents. And they just go by what they've heard, they just go by things that they see in the media and the press. And I just felt for him, he's just very ignorant. You know what I mean? To judge someone, you can feel whatever way you want to, but I just think that there's a lot. I think both of them really don't know who they are. Marissa changes her opinion because if you notice, she talk a lot.
Hmm.
She talk a lot, and she goes from one subject to the other,
Hmm.
contradicting herself
Very
constantly.
fitful. Very
Oh my
fitful.
goodness. And so I feel like number one, she doesn't even know who she is yet. I think she has some goals that she wants to achieve, but I don't think she even really knows what kind of man she wants. First, I want a man that's different than every man I've ever met or every man I've ever dated. But then she constantly makes little digs at him, and tries to make it seem like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not giving him a pass, but I feel like the stuff he's complained about. Okay, let's talk about real quick the condomless sex. I'm always trying to make sure I don't say the wrong thing.
Yeah, and
So a
him
lot of
wanting her
people
to
were
be
jumping all over him
responsible.
about that. A lot of people were jumping all over him about that. And I was like, some of y'all are missing the fact that they already started having unprotected sex in Cabo. So what he's bringing up and what he's pointing out to her is you changing up. You're not the same person you were in the pods. And he's pointed out a couple of things: the 3 to 5 year time frame for the kids. All this stuff that she obviously led him to believe she was going to do a certain way. He's been pointing out, and like I said, they none of them ever speak clearly. I don't know if production always gets to them and tells them, because I always feel like just say what you need to say, because that's the same. We're gonna get to Tyler them, but I'm just say it instead of like talking around the subject. And I feel like he's trying to, in a nice way, let her know, you are not the same person. And I felt like that's what his breakdown was about. Because he's starting to see some sides of her that he didn't see in the pods, and he ain't liking it. But he don't want to make a dig at her. Because when they had the military discussion, do you notice he really didn't say a lot? He said maybe one or two sentences, and then he would just be, okay. Very very diminishing of what she was saying, but he still didn't say a whole lot. He says a lot without really saying anything, whereas she talked a mile a minute and says 50 million things that don't make a lot of sense.
Hmm.
I don't have anything against either one of them. I think that they're not ready. They're not
No,
equally yoked at all. I don't know
no.
what was going on in the pods. I feel like there's some discussions we missed because I just didn't see
You
it
know,
being a
I think
match.
that that's what a lot of us content creators are finding out because I've been listening to other content creators, and a lot of us are saying a lot of things this year with production has been happening off the camera, and so
Hmm.
it doesn't give us an ability to assess it one way or the other, right? We just like with the two of them, we never saw what led up to the meeting between Marissa and Ramsey, right? We just saw
Right.
the aftermath of it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? We didn't see what happened between Tim and Alex, right? And
Oh
I
my
really would have
gosh.
loved to have seen that. We really did not see what happened between Hannah and Nick. We didn't really see a lot of what happened with Taylor. And so this year they have chosen, I don't know what that reason is, but they have chosen
Hmm.
not to share a lot of those things with us on scene. I don't know if this is to protect the cast members, but it ain't protecting them. It's just making us now have to draw our own opinion, which may
Mm-hmm.
be wrong or may be right. Like we don't know. But a lot of content creators have noticed and have
Mm-hmm.
been saying, why is the majority of this stuff happening off the screen?
Right. I understand the mystique of wanting to save certain things for the reunion, but if that's what they're doing, they did way too much of it. They did way too much because I still don't. I feel like Tim and Alex definitely have had some serious run-ins that we didn't get to see, and they don't talk about it. They talk
But
in
we not
code about
there
it, so I
yet.
feel like that.
We
Yeah.
ain't there yet, right? We're gonna get these dry ass ones out the way first. Because I think she's dry as hell.
Hmm.
Another couple that I think is dry as hell. I think that they're gonna go down the aisle, right? But I don't think they're gonna get married. And that's Garrett and Taylor. They have tried to make everything appear, right? So
Hmm.
we in episode 10 and 11. And first of all, I was very resentful of her and very angry that she would fake like she lives in DC. She does not live to DC. She commutes to DC.
I saw
And
your
so,
last review.
okay,
You were going, oh,
all right, I'm a little bit milder tonight, but
yeah.
you don't live here.
You're
And
right.
so you don't represent DC. And then you would, it's unfair to him because he actually lives in the outskirts of the DMV, right? But he's
Hmm.
still, we still, we'll adopt him. But here it is now, you fall in love with this man, and your thing is for him to go to LA. And then, I think that she puts too much emphasis on her race, and that irritates me a lot, right? Because if we were doing the same thing that she is doing, right, in my opinion, this is my opinion, right?
Hmm.
They would be saying that we playing a race card. But
Yep.
for her, you understand what I'm saying? But for her, everything is about her race, even when she made it an issue in the pods. And
Hmm.
and I just was like, okay, you did that intentionally, right? Because you wanted him to be curious about, what you look like. Are you olive skin? Do you have, what is it? Nobody gives a fuck, right? And even now with her father, making a decision not to be filmed, we got to meet her mother Fong, who was a beautiful woman, right? But I
Hmm.
didn't see anything spectacular about Miss Fong. I just did not. And so, she's got all her family and her friends here from, from California and everything. And he's just fitting in and he's blending in. And then later on in the next episode, which I knew was there anyway, he gets a text message. Bitch, a text message. Not a
Hmm.
knock on the door. Not the girl showing up on his job for lunch. He gets a text message. He discloses that to her, right? Because she is giving him this false sense of security with her that she's mature enough, right? And
Hmm.
I don't understand that these people are in their 30s and damn near in their 40s, and they don't understand that people have a past and that a
Hmm.
past relationship may come up while you in this process, right? This person, you're not the first, okay? And you
Right.
damn sure probably not gonna be the last. But anyway, I digress. She gets mad because he liked it.
Hmm.
She got mad because he liked it. And then when he was sitting in there talking with Tyler and Ashley, he said he responded. And she goes off and ruins the whole night over now I'm insecure. Now I'm not safe. You okay? So if a woman coming into his life makes you unsafe, then you had a false sense of security because this guy has dated other people. His family has probably met other people. I just thought that this was absolutely ridiculous. I thought it was blown out of proportion. Tell me what you think.
I completely 100% agree with you about her being insecure. I called it in the pause and I said to myself, she going to be exposed once they get out of this because I can see it all over her from the trying to make sure she didn't tell him about her race to when they first met up, when the doors open and everything. Remember, she was constantly like, do you like what you see? Are you sure?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
this? Are you that? And I was just like, oh wow, she is really insecure. And I said, she playing it off, but it's gonna come out eventually. And that's exactly what happened with this because I was like, why is she so upset about this? Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about the difference between liking a comment and responding to it. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. There was no reason to have that kind of a scene over it though, because like I said, like you said, he disclosed and let you know. So her getting that upset was the craziest thing to me. I was just like, why is she,
Yeah, I could not understand it, but again, we know that she's insecure, right? We can see it. We just waiting for it to show up.
uh-huh.
But when it showed up about something so small, I was shocked
Yeah.
that this is what it took for you to come out another woman. And I'm just thinking, I know how old I am. I'm damn near 60. Anybody I date probably got a trail of past relationships, at
Tell me
least
about
20
it.
behind them. So if your old girlfriend texts you, okay.
Tell her I said hi.
And I may be texting the old boyfriend because every split isn't a bad split.
Right.
Right? You could mutually decide we're not good for one another. We can remain friends. And I think that mature people do. When you
Mm-hmm.
get out of a relationship, so you make a decision on whether or not this is something that I can continue, for a lifetime, or this is something that I have to discontinue right now. So I think that her level of insecurity and maturity,
Right. I was like, let the woman disrespect you first. All she did was send a
right,
text message to the man. It'd be different if she was in a text message. Oh, I missed the way you used to do this, this, and that.
right,
None of that happened. I think what did he say? She just wished him well or something like that.
yes.
Just checking in. That there was
And
nothing
he
to be
told her
upset
that
about.
right, and he talked about her. I got engaged. I'm in this, I'm in
Yeah.
this thing. I got engaged and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, like what? It's not like the woman came to their door, found them, came to their door
Hmm.
with a trench coat on and nothing under the bottom.
Like you
I
said,
mean,
she didn't knock on
it
the
could be
door.
worse.
Right. Now I will say this in Garrett's defense about moving though, because I went back and looked at the episode again because when I listened to your your thoughts on it, I was cracking up and I said, you know what? I got the sense that he wanted to move though. And so there is an episode where she talks about the fact that he had mentioned he would be willing to move. And when he says to her across the table, I think in episode 9, that if my parents aren't okay with it, I'm still going to marry you. That told me that maybe there is a part of him that does want some distance from his family, and they do seem to be hating on this union. You know what I mean? They do seem to
Yeah.
be, well, I don't want to say hate. They seem to be concerned, and maybe there is a part of him that does want to leave. He's probably struggling with it. But I think there was a willingness there, and that's why she kind of mentioned that, you told me you'd be willing to move. So I think they did talk about it in the pods. And
Yeah,
maybe.
but I mean, but he's almost being forced to move. Like there's a
Hmm.
willingness to move, and then there's a force to move. And
Yeah.
because she does not live here, this is just where she commutes and comes in and out for meetings, just like you do.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You come
Hmm.
in and out. You fly here, you fly there, you do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
But this is being forced. In order for him to stay in this relationship, this is basically is not even an option for him. This is
Hmm.
eventually you're going to have to move and relocate. And by the time they get to that eventually, they may be having kids. And he does not
Hmm.
want, right, his parents to be long distance grandparents. So I
Yeah.
thought it was unfair for her to fill a slot that someone else could fill who
Yeah.
actually lives in the area and not someone who commutes.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I just remember thinking maybe he wanted some distance and just isn't man enough to tell his family that.
Yeah, I think that
But.
he has a good, loving relationship with his family. I think that it's
Hmm.
probably uncomfortable that his parents are outspoken. And I think that that would be uncomfortable for me. I know if my
Hmm.
parents were still living, they would definitely be running their trap, and my father probably would have me in the chokehold. You know what I mean? To bring somebody home like that, go on the show, bring somebody home. So I think that one of the things that we
Hmm.
kind of discount is that these are real families, and I have tried to learn to understand that they're getting this bomb dropped on them right in our faces, and not
Is
enough.
it a bomb though? Is it really a bomb? They know that
Yeah,
their
because
child has
when a
signed
lot
up
of
for
them go,
this.
Well, you know, when a lot of them go on Love is Blind, they don't disclose, which is the same thing as Married at First Sight. Married at First
Mm-hmm.
Sight gives you 2 weeks to disclose, right? Or
Uh-huh.
tell your friends, I got pig bitch and I'm getting married in 2 weeks.
Right.
So it's the same thing with Kinetic, right? Because all of it is under them.
Yep.
And they don't really know. Like Tyler, the people with Tyler, they didn't know Tyler was there. They didn't know he was gonna be there fucking line because if they had, they would have had an opportunity to bust his ass out. So a lot of it
Mm-hmm.
is done under secretly, right?
Yeah.
And then they go into pods, and then the whole time that they're in the pods, they have no communication with anybody outside, right? For what, 2 weeks or so? And
Mm-hmm.
then, and then they go and leave. They still don't have any connection with anybody. So they're gone and absent for 3 weeks. You don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I guess I understand it to a certain extent, but
yeah.
and I don't want to go off on another show, but I just watched the Married at First Sight, and it
Oh,
always
I'm doing that
irritates me.
tomorrow. I
Yeah.
got that tomorrow.
Okay. What always irritates me though, and we can move on, is when they tell their families and they act so shocked. I'm like, what you think the camera crew was there for? Y'all really expect us to believe these folks don't know anything about this?
I think that they
I
know a
never
little bit, but I
I
don't
never
think that
believe
they.
it. I never believe it. I'm like, what are y'all
Now,
looking
I
so
don't
shocked
believe it
for?
on Married at First Sight. I don't believe it on Married at First Sight that most of
Mhm.
them are, but I know if it was me and I was on a show like that, I would give my girlfriends, my good girlfriends and my family very, very little knowledge about what's going on. I apply for this show and they're gonna be filming and I gotta tell y'all something. Right? Like I could pass that. I could
Yeah,
do
I
that.
don't know. I don't know. I've always felt like the surprise is just it's a little fake to me
I
because it's
think a
just
lot of it. I think for some of them, it is fake, and I think
yeah.
it is what it is. Okay, so anything else you
Okay.
want to say about this couple before we move on to somebody else?
I wish them the best.
Are they making it to the aisle? Yes or no?
I don't want to answer that question about any of them because I've read the spoilers, so I know who gets married and who doesn't. But that's just me. I'm a person that doesn't bother me to know. It to me it makes it more enjoyable because then I can kind of gauge things. So I'm not going to answer that question on any of them. I wish everybody the best.
Okay, so let's get to Hannah and Nick. I'll let you start.
Really? I mean, it's gonna be real quick. I feel like when it comes to Nick, I just don't see a scenario where it's ever attractive for a man to be living with his mom. I understand there are special circumstances and all, but that's just never a real good look on a grown man. Unless you're taking care of your mother or something. I just don't understand why you would choose to live that way. What are you doing? And then with Hannah, I hope this is what I truly hope is that she watches this back and realizes just how awful she comes across because I think she mistakes what she does as being direct, but you're just being rude. You know what I mean? There's a difference
Hannah rude as
between
fuck.
yes, just like Marissa's mom, it's the difference between being direct, making your point, so it's clear to the other person than just really insulting somebody. You know what I mean? You don't have to say things a certain way. My grandmother used to say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And so for her, I'm not going to say I just feel like everything she said could have been said in a different way. It would have been received so much better if she had just
Hell
thought through
yeah.
how are my words going to land on the person I'm giving them to. And
So
that's
she
just what
did
I think.
so speaking of Hannah, so Hannah did, let me see if I can pull it up, boo.
Okay, dope.
So can you see it, boo?
Yes, I can.
Love is Blind, Hannah owns up to her cruel and demeaning treatment of Nick. It's a flaw of mine.
Amen.
She said, I just had a moment where I was like, what am I doing? If I'm still seeing all these issues and I'm just being mean to this man, this is probably not someone that I want to be married to. So she further goes on to say the following. She said, I think for me, it just came down to I saw my friends with him, my family was there, and I just had a moment where I was kind of like, what the fuck am I doing? if I'm still seeing all these issues and I'm just being mean to this man, I feel like I'm just dogging out this man. This is probably not someone I want to be married to. It just all came to this realization: we should not be together. She says, by the end of it, I was like, at this point, I don't have anything nice to say. I'm just saying mean things, and that's cruel to him. It's cruel to me as well. Like, what am I doing? We're just bringing out the worst in each other, she recalls. Watching it back, she says, it's a lot. The way I acted was very cruel,
Oh, amen.
and it was very demeaning towards him. I wish I didn't do it in that way. But still, Hannah insists I stand 10 toes down. And what I said was the truth. And that's how I felt in the moment. And I don't regret it. But I'm glad that I did say that, because I realize that's something that is a flaw of mine, and it's something that my family recognized, that everybody recognizes, and I'm working on it. I was working on it through the show. I worked on it in the past time since the show. I know that's who I am. I am genuinely myself. And yes, there are bad qualities, but I know, hey, Hannah, how about you just be careful what you say, and it's about how you say it.
Amen. Well, all right. I didn't even know about that article.
Okay.
No, seriously, I didn't know. I'm glad she saw it because it was.
It was horrible.
I mean, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, boy, if she said this to the wrong dude, if she was talking to another man the way she was talking to him, she would have got a different response. He
And
was
her
sitting there taking
friends.
it.
And
Mm.
her friends came in on, her friends was putting 20 on 10.
Oh yeah, and it
Her
wasn't a
friends
good
were
look for all
rude.
three of them to be coming at him like that. That was a terrible look.
That was horrible. And I
Hmm.
am sure that she went to People magazine because of the backlash, because
Yeah.
it is a way to say things. And it was obvious that she thought that she was better than him, and she wasn't. And to
Mm-mm.
tell someone that you're lower than me makes you low.
Yeah.
And you can get up here when you do better. Like, who the fuck are you to say something like that? But what Hannah doesn't realize is that until she really gets that right and really learns the lesson, she's got some karma to pay on that. And
Hmm.
I think that the reason why she's insecure is because she has been rejected, because she was overweight. She has been, probably insulted, about herself. And now that she's lost 45 pounds, she feels like she can, past the same thing. She's got a lot of healing to do, even
Yeah.
within her family, because her brother was like, these are the things that I am challenged with, and that's my sister. That said a lot.
Yeah. He sure did. He sure did.
It- that said a lot about Hannah. But what do you think about Nick and the other girl that came in, that he was all up in her face at the reunion? But did you notice that downtown at the bar in the reunion ain't no cast members come, but like what, three?
Yeah. It's a different season. I wonder if more of this is going to come out. I think he was looking forward to just flirting with somebody that would be nice
Mhm.
to him. To be honest, it wasn't really to me. Yeah, he said a couple of things that was like, now you ain't got to say all that to the girl. But I think he was just happy to talk to somebody else and make sure that, okay, she'd been talking down to me for the last 3, 4 weeks. It'd be nice if somebody flirted with me and gave me a sense of self. And she did do a little flirting herself, but I don't think she even really took him that seriously. I think they just enjoyed seeing each other and meeting
Yeah.
up for the first time. I didn't see anything
Yeah,
coming out of that.
and
I'd
that's
be
what I
very
thought. I
shocked.
I thought it was no there there. It was no
Yeah.
there there. What
Hmm.
I did not like that he gave her was his hurt. That he
Hmm.
became vulnerable in front of her, and he told her that this hurt him. That pissed me off, because I was like, I
Yeah.
would have handled that much differently. I would have been like, okay, well, you don't want to be. My tears would have been in my pillow, and I
Yeah.
would have walked away with my dignity. Like, I really would have walked away with my dignity on that, because this girl talked to him like he was nothing.
Yeah. Well,
And
I think with Nick, he needs to move out because a lot of the stuff that he has not accomplished and where he has not
It's because
gotten,
he lived with his parents.
and hopefully mama see it at least and tell him to get on out. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of times these mamas think they're doing something cute, but I'm like, you're holding your own son back from having a good relationship. You know what I mean? And it's like, maybe if she sees
I
this, she can talk to
disagree.
him.
I
I don't
disagree.
know. I every there's only been two times I've dated a dude that was like uncomfortably close to his mom, and I didn't like it because everything was always in comparison to her, and I'm like, look, I cannot be her. I'm not even gonna try to be her. I can only be myself. And every time, one of them was real bad. Every time I came around her, she was always treating me as if I needed to measure up to her, and I was like, I'm not dating you.
How about that?
and
Fuck
and
her.
some, yeah, some I'm serious, some
Fuck
mothers
her.
can really mess their sons up to where they're no
Now
good
that's
for other
true.
women. They
Now
really
that's
aren't.
true.
They're so they compare everybody to this woman, and it's just like, I want a man that's close to his mama, but some of y'all take that
Yeah.
too serious with this. If he treat his mama right, he'll treat you right. I don't believe that no more.
That's not all the way. That's not always true.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
not
always
always
true. And
true. Yeah.
I met this guy, and as soon as he said, "I live with my mama," I said, "Oh, I'm not interested in that."
Yeah.
Because he
Nah.
literally lived with his mother. Wasn't like his mother was in need of health care and was living with
Mm-hmm.
him. He
Right.
lived at his mama house. I said,
Yep.
"Oh no." I said, "I'm totally not interested." And I mean, he was a Christian man, good man, and all of that. Had a good job, but when you open up a door and you gotta be saying, "Mom, I'm home," oh fuck no, I
Yeah, and that's what I mean about Nick. A lot of the stuff that Hannah was pointing out, yeah, I'll be honest, some of that stuff made a lot of sense, but it didn't make her better than him. It
it
just
did
meant
not.
she's progressed in different ways because she's had to. He has not had to do anything. And that's what the problem is. You can't lead a household if you believe in the traditional roles and stuff. You can't be the man of no house and you don't even know how to take the trash out without somebody telling you. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Little things and big things. If he had more bills,
Yeah,
then he
but
probably,
she did that though. She did
the
that
way she did it.
to demean him and to make
Yeah.
sure that we had these conversations about Nick. I thought it was just so unfair.
Yeah.
And
No, I'm
she
saying it's
wanted
the
to
way she
embarrass
did
him
it.
on camera. She wanted
Yeah.
to embarrass him on camera.
And that's what I mean. A lot of stuff could have been said off camera. She made sure. I mean, that money
Absolutely.
conversation was
Excuse me, Mom.
so,
Yeah. Go
so, I
ahead.
was so uncomfortable watching when they were talking about money. You don't know how to invest. You don't invest. And I mean, you pointed out something good in your video commentary about that. Like, a lot of people don't invest just because you know something about stocks and bonds doesn't mean everyone does. That's
You
not the
damn
way you
right.
even make somebody interested in it, demeaning them over it. I just, oh, but like I said, I do feel like he'd be more further along in his journey as a man if he
I
were by
agree.
himself, because he'd probably have a different set of friends. Because you know what I mean. It's just it would just be different if he were a man living on his own. And hopefully, this is a push for him to do so. Who knows?
And I had I have a lot of friends, including myself, that have grown children living with us. And they are independent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's just the economy, right? I mean, why would
Yep.
you go and stay somewhere $2,800 a month and you still, just trying to, get your footings in a life, decide about, okay, so you went to college, then what you going to do? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
kids that go to college, they don't even usually pursue what they studied, right? And it
Yeah.
takes a while. And back in the day, like our parents pushed us out the nest and they didn't give a fuck, right? But
Yeah.
this is a different world now. And so when I was saying that I disagreed, I think I disagreed because my daughter is, for the most part, independent and does not depend on me, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that it's a mother's responsibility, but I do understand that mothers
Mm-hmm.
are different with their sons, and
Mm-hmm.
that mothers we grow our kids, especially black girls, to
Mm-hmm.
be independent and know how to feel. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
feel
I'm
for yourself. Like
46.
we grow
Yeah.
our kids, we raise our children differently.
Yeah, I'm 46, and so I live out here in California by myself. If I lived in Georgia, I'd probably live with my parents. They have a four-bedroom house. It's just them. I'd probably take the top floor, take over a couple of bills, or you know what I mean. I can see myself living with my parents even at
Mhm.
46, but it would be more of a roommate situation. It's not me just living off them, eating their food. You know, that's a
Right,
totally
right,
different
right, right,
dynamic.
right. My
Yeah,
daughter
that's
doesn't
a
eat
different
my food.
dynamic. When he showed that he couldn't boil pasta, that tells me you ain't even cooking in that house.
Yeah,
Your
because even
mama
my
cooking all
daughter
your
dragged
meals
him
for
for that.
you.
My daughter dragged the shit out of him for
I was like, okay, that tells me your mama cooking your meals and everything. So that's not
yeah.
independence to me. You're not a
That is
roommate. You
not.
are still a child.
But the thing about it is, hopefully this will help him to grow
Yep. That's what I
and
hope.
and not necessarily move out, but change the way that he lives and conducts himself in his parents' home. I'm hoping that this was a learning experience because I'm sure it was absolutely humiliating, especially as a man.
Yeah, but I
Um,
liked him, and I think a lot of people liked him because he
I did
wasn't a
too.
bad dude. You know, I
I
don't
do
think.
too.
Yeah, I think he came out a lot better than Hannah. So,
He did because they dragging the shit out of Hannah. So the next person we're gonna talk about, okay, which one you want first? You want to talk about Tyler and Alex first, or do you want to talk about Tim and no,
no.
Tim and Alex, Tyler and Ashley? Which one first,
Oh, we
girl?
gotta save the baby daddy for last. So we got to do Tim and Alex for next, because I want to
So,
talk about the father of three last. Have
and
you
that's
seen the
because your
pictures?
ass.
I just want to ask you first. Have you seen the pictures of him with his children? Okay, but anyway, Tim and Alex. This one you can start because I feel like there's so much information we just don't know. I don't even know what to think.
Oh, I know what the fuck to think.
I don't know. I feel like
Oh,
at
I know
first I
what to
thought it was
think.
Alex,
She's a
then I
Nick.
think it's Tim. I don't know what it is.
She's the female version of Nick.
Okay.
She has absolutely no etiquette,
Hmm.
absolutely no teamwork that makes the dream work. And she's spoiled to the core. She's deceitful with her parents and about who she is.
Hmm.
And Tim wasn't having it. You so for me, I listen to what people say. Tim said when the cameras went off. Now, mind you, she's into content creation, production, and all of
Hmm.
that. So she knows how to act on that screen.
Yeah.
She ghetto as hell. She she thought that she was going to be this one person on screen
Hmm.
and that Tim would have an understanding when Tim don't come from that neighborhood,
Okay.
right? He gonna give it to you raw, right, wrong, or indifferent. So him having an opinion that way is not gonna be popular with people, right? I'm not popular with people. A lot of people don't like me because I'm straight and cutting to the chaser, right? I'm
Hmm.
not gonna kiss you and pat you and all of that kind of pacify you. No, we're gonna call a thing a damn thing.
Hmm.
So when she came in, she got her plate. No, we didn't see it, but I never heard her offer him anything.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, well, god damn, if she ain't eat all of that, did she check with him? So then she says, I'm hungry. He says, I want to talk. I'm hungry. I ain't ate all day. Bitch, that's dismissive. Okay.
Hmm.
So we let it pass. Do you want me to come sit over there? Now you're trying to give off the impression that he bossy and demanded.
Uh-huh.
He said, well, I want to have an intentional conversation. I'm sure she knew they was having an intentional conversation.
Yeah. She did give off that she knew something was up. She did
You
give that
damn
off.
right she knew. But she came in there on some
Hmm.
production bullshit, okay?
Hmm.
So you dealing with a real man, what my brothers would call a real N. You're not dealing with somebody that gives a damn about production.
Right.
What he does is sincere. She comes over, she sits down. the posture that she's in is not a posture that you will be able to really communicate with. But okay, he went with it anyway because he needed to get it off his chest.
Yeah.
When they begin to talk, she talks over him. She's very argumentative. And
Hmm.
when he stops her, she blows him off. Okay, you gonna let me talk? Yeah, yeah. Automatic, yeah, of course. Bitch, that's not the way that you do.
Right.
We could go back into some more when you have your thing, but I'm gonna close with this and I'm gonna turn the floor over to you, and then we're gonna have a discussion about some other things that I saw. But one of the things that he said that was on point was when he had talked about all he did for her father.
Hmm.
And he said, if you don't know that you should have at least done the dishes, that's
Yeah.
proper etiquette.
Yeah.
The person
Well, we
that
saw her apartment. I don't see her doing a whole lot around the house anyway.
girl, I must, but she doesn't understand the sacrifice. She's gonna throw up in his face. You made these comments to my father. He said, yeah, I was real about it. But at the end of the day, she didn't even catch on that it's
Hmm.
about etiquette. It's about hospitality. It's about, for me and you, Tam, when our families coming from out of town and we've
Hmm.
been working 8 hours a day and we come home, we prep before they get there. We make sure that we are hospitable. We welcome their cars when they show the fuck up at our house, and we stay up bitch till 2 o'clock in the morning talking to them, helping to make sure that they're comfortable in their room, that they know where their linens are, that their washcloths and stuff like that, right? We all got jobs. And
Yep.
then for her to ignore his text message and was like, I got it. When he, as a man saying, I'm glad you got your car fixed and everything, right? Because a man that loves you cares about, your safety in your car. And so he's saying that to her, and she said, it's fixed. And then he says, well, I'm glad that you got your car back. And she just ignores him. She has no etiquette.
Mm-mm.
She's not considerate. She's very self-centered and selfish than a motherfucker. You go here.
I actually agree with you. I'm actually going to follow up with a question because I have been curious since Cabo. What do you think went down in Cabo? Because he was almost like, I'm not going to say she got physical with him, but
She got physical with him.
okay, well,
No,
all is
I
right
don't have
then.
no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I think that
She thought she tried it. Okay. Because
I
I was
think that
like,
when
what is
he was
it? What are they
leaving out,
saying?
I think that when he was leaving out, she put her hands on him.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
the
I was
reason
right
why
then. She's, yeah. Okay.
go ahead, boo. Go ahead. I'm
No, I
sorry.
was just saying. So I'm writing what I was thinking because that's been bothering me since Cabo. Like, what happened? Because they, I mean, I guess they might get into it at the reunion. They might not, especially if violence was concerned. They may not even address it. But I just remember the way he was talking about it because he was talking around it too, which also makes me feel like they be coaching him on what to say and what not to say on camera.
Mhm.
Because I was like, did she hit him? What
It sound
happened?
like it. And
Yeah,
it
it
sound like
sounded
she
like
called
she
him
hit him,
all
and so
kinds
he
of.
was ready to go. He was ready to go then. And when she jumped up on him and stuff, I was like, "Is she for real?" Remember when she got all up on him and hugged on him, and he just was like, "Whatever,
Yeah,
whatever."
she don't have no boundaries.
Yeah, I was like completely, and I think that's what's been the problem for me is just like not knowing what's going on with them. And but I agree with you. It's just it's very toxic. The whole relationship has looked really toxic to me from the beginning.
Mhm.
And oh, I don't know. I wish them both the best. I just oh man. But the way
And
I guess for
because
me, the way he ended it, it was like I never want to see you again. It's like, oh dog, you ain't got to be that dramatic. You gonna have
he
to see her
needed
at the
to. He
reunion.
needed to
You
say that
gonna have
to
to
her.
deal with her again.
Fuck it. I disagree.
Yeah,
He needed to put her in her place. He needed
yeah.
to bring that phony crap out she was doing. I think that when she panicked, because even when she talked to the girls, and
Mm-hmm.
me and you, we got our girlfriends,
Yep.
we let our head down, we get our little glass, and we having our conversation. She said, "Girl, I thought he was leaving. I was realizing I ain't had this man's phone number. I ain't have nothing." And I think that in that thought during that time period, she tried to stop him.
Mhm.
And he probably was like, "Get your hands off me."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when he said, "I gotta respect me,"
Mhm.
right? I think she was calling them all out his name, probably all kinds of B's and MFs and N's and whatever she was saying, because
Mhm.
you can tell that there's an undercurrent of an angry bitch underneath it. I don't
Mhm.
care how much she tries to keep her composure, she's very angry. And
He,
and
I felt like he told his mama something too. Because remember, the mom, she was talking a little bit in code, but she said, me and my husband, we respect one another. I remember when I watched her say that, I said, yeah, he done told his mom.
and her father was like this,
Trying to be
won't he?
nice and respectful about it, but she probably was trying to tell that girl, like, look now, my
And
son
the father
is.
was like this.
When you done told your parents something and they like, and
He
the
probably
person,
said, he probably said, "Judith, you handle that, right? I'm just gonna co-sign."
yeah. I was like, yeah, he
I
done said
don't
something to
even
his
think that
parents.
the mother wins the pants in the relationship. I believe that the mother and the father came to a conclusion. Baby, you got this. You go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead. I don't
Hmm.
even think that she. Of course, she's the matriarch, right? That's her
Hmm.
own son. But I really believe that the father wears the pants in the relationship, and they got
Yeah.
together and said, "This is how we're going to present this."
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's a female too, so it comes from her better. Comes from
Yeah,
the mother addressing her better anyway. That's just a better look overall.
and
So
and I,
I
and,
like
and I,
his
but
parents. I love the parents. I love
I
what you
did
said in
too.
your
I love,
last review
I
about
love.
the dads and the families. I've loved all the families, really. We haven't had any except for
No,
Marissa mama. but it's just they've had a great group of parents. So these folks come from good stock. You can see that.
I agree with you, and I think that I hate when people say, when you see someone's like Tim's mother, there's automatically an assumption that she's bossy or
Yeah,
that she
nah,
runs
I didn't
the
see that.
household. I didn't see that. I saw
Nah.
two people that came together, and the dad said, "I'm gonna stand down," just the
Mm-hmm.
same way that Ashley's father stood down,
Yep.
right? But it's more respectable from a man, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to her father saying, "I'm gonna stand down and let mama talk about this." I do think that he shared some things with his mother because I
Mm-hmm.
felt like his mother was talking in code.
Yeah. Yeah, when
I
she
felt,
did that respect thing, that's where it was like a red, not a red flag because it's a good flag, but it was like, to me, it was almost like she was trying to tell her, you have to respect the person that you're with, because that's what's kept me and my husband together all this time.
and I think that that helped him make a decision too because
Mm-hmm.
right after that he says, "My parents drove 10 hours
Yeah.
and you went to sleep. It was only for an hour."
She's like, I
But
have
just,
been talking to them for 4 hours.
girl, do you know how long we be talking to our families when our families come in and we know, like my sister, when my sister comes to see me, it's an 8.5 hour drive for my sister. I sit up all day, all night. I don't care what it is. I'm hand and footing them.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? The last time that they came up, I hand and footed them, waited for them the whole drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Went to work, hand and footed them the whole time. Gave up my bed now, bitch. Gave up my bed,
Yeah.
slept uncomfortably, and got up and went to work.
I'm
So,
flying to Georgia tomorrow, and the car service is taking me directly to the hospital, or first to the hotel to drop off my bags. I got soup recipes because I'm relieving my stepdad from everything that he's been doing for the caregiving. And so I got soup recipes. I mean, I have like a long list of stuff, and I'm going somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's just like your family is all automatically a priority. So it's just weird to me that she wouldn't be on her best behavior, but
but
I
it
mean,
seems like she doesn't have a good relationship with her mother because
mm,
her mother never showed.
yeah,
And if her father can be on TV with MS, Why
Mm-hmm.
couldn't her mother? And she really didn't reference her mother or talk much about her relationship with her mother outside of the fact that the father left her.
Yeah.
You
I just
understand what?
remember when she was out on that balcony trying to coach him because I felt like she was fundamentally dishonest. You know what I mean? There was
Yeah.
something about the way she was trying to coach him. Don't say nothing about the ring. Don't say nothing about us
Yes.
being engaged. And I was just like, okay, so now I'm like trying to not give her a pass, but trying to see the bright side of this. Well, I was like, okay, now you sound like you were violent in Cabo. Now you just
That
look
was
like you
not
just
her
lie.
mom. That was her stepmother.
Yeah.
That was
Oh.
not her mom. For Tartar said that was her mom. Tartar, that is the stepmom that the father, because the father did not marry her mother. He left her mother, which he had MS, and married
Mm,
this woman. He was never married to her mother. He used her all those years, and when she got sick, and he was sick. He needed a younger thing to caretake for him.
mm.
That
I
was
remember that
not her
now. You
mother.
reminded me of that story. Okay, yeah, she did share that in the
Yeah,
pods.
that was not her biological mother. That was his wife.
Yeah.
And I
And
don't think she has a good relationship with her mother because at least she would know some type of hospitality. If this man got up in the morning, went to the grocery store, at the least she could have did instead of getting her beauty sleep was it and put her makeup on was go to the
mm-hmm.
grocery store with him and say, hey, my dad really does like these. Let's put a little bit of these in the cart for them to go on the road or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. But the man slaves and does all of that. And then so what are you doing while he's washing dishes? Like I just was like, she don't have no etiquette. She doesn't have
Yeah.
common sense and no etiquette, no class whatsoever. But you want
Yeah.
to sit your ass on there and point your finger at him and say, 2 days ago you just did this. He was like, I was very sincere with your family.
Yeah.
In other words, I did more for your family than you did. All you did
Mm-hmm.
was sit up here and wanted me to lie about where we were
Mm-hmm.
in this relationship.
Right. And that bothered me. I didn't like that at all. I was
I
like,
didn't either.
don't you know this is gonna be on TV? You just exposing yourself as a liar. It's gonna be on TV. But
And when he
yeah,
told her there is nothing, nothing, no circumstance, no situation where I can see myself
yeah. I mean,
marrying you.
I understood it. It's just so I don't know. I
A
guess I felt
woman
like he
like
could have
that,
said it
he
in a
needed to
different
give it
way.
to her raw. I know a lot of people I know a lot of times we put ourselves in that, but for a woman that has presented herself the way that she has,
Yeah.
she needed it just the way he gave it to her because it shut her down. And then she was
Ooh,
like, I mean, if you're finished, I have a lot of things that I can say. And then you can't form your words because there's
mhm.
no defense. The defense is, I am sorry and I feel short. I feel sure I fucked up.
Yeah.
I really did. Instead of me defending, I only slept an hour. You are absolutely right because my grandmama and them and my mom and them they taught me better than that.
Yeah.
That when you have family that are in town, you spend all your time. I don't care if you nodding off in the middle of a sentence. And she just she wasn't taught that, and she's been
Yeah.
daddy's baby. You understand what I'm saying? She's been
Uh-huh.
daddy's baby. And so to me, she's a lot like Nick. She's immature uh
Hmm.
in understanding a woman's role.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
What do
right.
you
You're
think?
right.
What do you
I
think?
mean, I don't disagree with anything you said. I guess for me, the way he walked off, I like the way he walked off. He's like, I wish you the best. And I was like, now see, why couldn't you have just said that and got up and walked off, telling the girl, I hope I never see you again? I was like, oh, goodness gracious, you ain't got to be that harsh.
Ah,
I was like, oh,
drag
come on,
that
Tim.
bitch.
I was like, come on, Tim. Now you ain't got to say all that.
Watch how poised she's going to be at the reunion and try to
Hmm.
drag him at the same time.
Yeah.
Watch.
Well, yeah, she gonna do it. She ain't gonna succeed. Like I said, one of the things I love about this show is that usually people get exposed, for who they really are. And, you know, She did. She got exposed from everything from how she lived to the fact that she can't control herself when she's frustrated, and like being a liar. Like you ain't gonna be able to change what's already out there. You can have whatever attitude you want at the reunion, but usually it only further enhances things. I like to get questions answered at reunions,
I'm gonna have to
but
find something. Hold on, let me see. I found that on Hannah. Let me see if it's anything about that or anything about her ass. Okay, because sometimes.
a lot of them are on social media. Whether they got married or not, I haven't seen her on anything because Marissa was doing some kind of outfit of the day video I saw. I don't follow her, but when you follow the show, sometimes the people will appear in your news feed. And I
Okay,
saw
so
Mar-
here, let me share this, and then we're gonna go to Tyler, baby daddy. Hold
okay,
on.
some water.
Which he's so goddamn deceitful. That was just so fucking unbelievable. Like, okay, but anyway, let me we'll
Oh, I
get
got
there.
so much to say about
Oh,
gaslighting
I'm
and
gonna
men
let you.
being.
I'm gonna let you speak your speak because I'm gonna step out and use the bathroom and put you on the screen and let you speak your speak. The bathroom is right outside my daughter's office, so hold on. Can you
I,
see it?
Tim claims he was being manipulated and shown no serious effort in toxic situation.
Okay, so let's go. So it says that Tim then confirmed. Okay, things fell apart with the couple. Tim then confirmed he did not want to marry someone like Alex and never
Mm-hmm.
wanted to see her ass again before leaving their shared apartment. So he says when love, authenticity, and respect are consistently met with a lack of effort, constant antagonizing, and lack of respect for your physical and mental space. And I
Mm-hmm.
agree with that because I spoke on that, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
It must be met with firm and unmistakable terms. There is much left out from our story, some of which out of an attempt to protect something once held dear. I am far from a perfect person. I make
Mm-hmm.
mistakes and I fall short of glory as often as others. I don't expect everyone to love or agree with what I have to say, but I have to display an amount of respect for myself and my family if it is not given by others. Meet people where the fuck they at, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He said nothing that he has never argued with someone with the amount of consistency I did as with this experience, Tim claimed. He said through hours of tough conversation that weren't seen, I made the decision to remove myself from what felt like a toxic situation where I was being manipulated and given no serious effort from my partner. I truly believe if someone displayed the same behavior to a partner and the genders were reversed, the conversation around our story would be entirely different. Didn't I just say that? Tim said he wasn't speaking out on social media in order to be a victim, but rather to point out the lack of accountability and sincere self reflection that one should do when they subject on anyone to such consistently mean spirited treatment, let alone to someone you claim to love. Then he said here in his Instagram post, oh, we won't read that. He concluded his note by speaking directly to those who insisted he stay with Alex. He and continue. Continue to give all to a situation that was draining me emotionally and mentally while my extended family is being brought in to be shown the lack of intent. I offer you no apology, bitch. I hate that my attempt to find love ended in a situation where I can't even be friendly with her ass. I used to
Mm-hmm.
love because we live in what feels like two different realities. I was not looking forward to reliving this. There is nothing left to say. There is nothing left to talk about. Do the work, be better, grow, move in peace, but always be willing to defend yourself and the ones you love. He says, I know when to remove something that is a negative presence in my life. I will continue to reflect on myself more than I do others and attempt to live life as honorably as I can by the principles I was brought up to have. I still have joy. Woof woof, love is blind.
Is he gonna be at the reunion? He sound like he ain't even gonna be at the reunion. He said there's nothing else to say. I'm like, okay, well, is he gonna be there? Oh, I
If
can
that
see
ain't
him
a
not wanting to be there, but I hope he does, because all
I
he
hope
gonna
he
do is
chose
take
to.
control
I
of the
think he would
narrative.
do it out of commitment
Yeah,
to the show. All
I
right,
hope
well, you
so.
go ahead on the start with Tyler and Alex.
I'm gonna just share a
Ashley.
story that ties to it because I don't want you to miss anything, and I don't want to have the conversation by myself. But go ahead, I'll share this story while you're using the
Okay.
potty. So
Okay, I'm
I
gonna put
dated this
you
guy. This is the reason why this gets under my skin so bad. I dated this guy, and he told me he had one child, and I was fine with it. You know, when you're in your 40s, that's sort of something you expect, and so it was fine. We start dating, and I find out that he actually has three kids. And when I broke things off, he tried to insult me by saying, "You just want to judge me because I have three kids." I said, "No, no, no, I'm not judging you for having children. I'm judging you for lying about it and not telling me the whole truth and deceiving me." And I feel like Ashley is giving Tyler a pass because, yeah, number one, we all know the sperm donor thing at this point is a lie. But the fact that he chose to lie about it, and like she said, all the different conversations that they had where they talked about kids and he neglected to tell her this over and over and over again. The fact that she's looking past that because she doesn't want to judge him, I feel like is the biggest mistake. And that's how a lot of guys get over because they want you to think that you're a bad person for judging them for having kids. People have children, and so that's what I think bothered me the most. It was a little bit triggering for me because I broke off a relationship as soon as I found out something like that, and he for the constantly tried to attack me for maybe a couple of weeks after we broke up. You just judged me for having kids. I ain't know you were that kind of woman and you were that kind of female. And I was just like, that has nothing to do with it. Three kids is a lot, but that's not what the problem was. The problem was when we first started dating, you told me you had one child, and now it turns into three the closer that we get. So when she, in these episodes, seemingly forgives him, I feel like she's looking past the main thing, which is he lied and deceived you for a very long time and was probably pressured by production to go and tell her the truth.
You
Because at
think
this point,
so?
yeah, at this point, ABC, The Bachelor, all these dating shows, if you notice, there's always some controversy with somebody now where they get exposed for something and they always try to say they didn't know anything about it. Oh, when we did the background check, we didn't know anything about it. These production companies be knowing this stuff. They follow these people on social media because they reach out to some of them about getting on the show.
True, true,
Some of these
true,
people
true,
don't even
true.
sign up to be on these shows. They get approached. So they knew this already. And I felt like they were waiting on him to finally tell her. And when he wasn't going to do it, they probably told him, you need to say something.
But I
And
think that also her father, I think confronting that man pushed it too.
hmm
Because the father told him, don't play.
yeah.
Don't
I mean,
play. It's
I
my
know. It's
only
just,
daughter.
I hate that she is like, I'm not going to say she's delusional. She's a very smart young lady. I'm not going to say that. But I feel like she's trying so hard to, I guess, what is it? What's her little word? Hold on to their superpower. But it's just you missing the forest for the trees. It's not about the kids. It's about what he's been lying and deceiving you about. And the fact that he kept
Mhm,
this from you when y'all had all these conversations about kids. He could have told you this in the pods. It probably would have been
mhm.
something y'all could have laughed about or just been like, oh, wow, you were a sperm donor? Cool. The fact that he waited should tell you that this ain't even the whole truth. And I'm just disgusted.
So what
That's
are
all.
you finding out there on the streets?
Well, one of the ladies, and I'm interested to see what she says about him, about her, about them being a same sex couple, because she hasn't said anything like
Yeah,
that on social media.
I said,
I
where's
don't
the
know where
same
that
sex
came
couple
from.
come from?
Yeah,
But
because
it
she's just,
sounds it's more digestible for Ashley if
mm-hmm.
he says same sex.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, she hasn't responded yet because she's been putting pictures and stuff on TikTok since 2 weeks ago. And the two babies, because he has three. He has an older child from another woman, and then he has two with this lady. And she hasn't said anything about having a lover, or I missed it. If somebody did, I can't see the comments or anything. If somebody says that they've seen that, I'd be very surprised because she hasn't said anything. But she's been posting pictures, and she said that he stopped contacting her about a year ago. And she didn't know why. He just cut her off, cut the kids off, and everything. I mean, there's pictures of him holding the kids, playing
Yes,
with the kids,
playing
the
with them,
toys,
pumpkin patch,
everything. And she
everything.
said, yeah, she said she didn't know why, because I guess the show itself is almost a year behind or something like that, I heard. But now she sees why he, stopped, cut everybody off. And so she's been like telling all their business and that he's been a father up to this point. And one of her mother made a statement and said he named the kids. So I just, if they were in a same sex relationship, he's been a very involved father for them to be,
Yeah,
but she
and
hasn't
that's why
said
I say he
anything
was
about being a lesbian. Now, I will say she hasn't posted any pictures with her and him together. I will say I have not seen that. So there, it might be something to it, but he's a very involved father. And remember, Ashley asked him in the episode, "Do your kids know what you look like?" And he said
right,
no.
and he said no.
Oh, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, and
And you
just
know what the sad part about it is? She finds out in real time, like us. Even though they filmed this a year ago,
mhm,
when they find out this stuff, they find out this stuff in real time with us because we get introduced to the cast month out. We get a they release the cast a month out, and then
mhm,
after that they roll the show. So by the time his face showed up, now it connects for everybody that's in his real life why he's been gone for a year, right? Because this is a year old now. And
yeah,
it's so sad to come back to American soil, him go back to work, she back
mhm,
at work, and stuff start leaking to you. People start hitting you up in the DMs and stuff like that.
mhm,
And this is the way that because love is not going to allow you to find out that way.
mhm.
Mm-mm. If a
Mhm.
man love you, he gonna be upfront with you and say, "Look, I got like 15 kids." It gives you an
Oh,
give you the choice.
yeah, and that's what I
Because
hate.
from what my understanding is now, this is the only one that I think that I know the spoiler is that she actually married him.
Mhm. Yep, yep. And I don't know. I just watching her mom get emotional when she tried on the dress, and I just like when you playing with
And the
people's
god sister.
family, man. When you playing
And the
with people's,
god sister.
ooh,
And you know we don't play about our god sister.
right. It's just oh man, and the only pass I ain't gonna say no pass because I always try to see the bright side, and what I tried to say to myself is it's not really a pass. It's just what I think was going on in his head is maybe he just wanted to start over, but you can't do that when you have
And
children and
that's the
lives that you're
same thing that
responsible
I was
for.
gonna say tonight. You took that word. He wanted to start over with her.
Yeah, but you can't do that to your children. You cannot do that to those kids. That's just so low. And like I said, I'm interested in what the whole truth is because I do realize people jump online to shame people because they mad that the person ain't dealing with them anymore. But I mean, he has been just caught in some flat out lies. There's no way to cover up some of this stuff. Like, it's just, oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
$30,000 in arrears for being a sperm donor.
I mean,
You know,
come
sperm
on.
donors don't owe child support
No,
because
they don't.
they make no claim to the baby. So you've had to make some kind of claim to. I think he was an organ donor. Like I said, he lended his weenus. Okay,
Yes.
but he definitely wasn't a sperm donor. He gave the whole organ up and was
Yeah.
in a relationship. And the thing about it, what he doesn't realize is the abandonment that the kids are going to feel by him just flat out denying their very existence. That's disgusting.
This isn't a private video, so I won't go into too much detail. But I met my biological father at the age of 35, and that relationship is still complicated to this day because he
I can
still,
imagine.
yeah, it's almost like he still doesn't understand that
The
we're never
effect
going to
it
be
has
father
on
and
you.
daughter. We're just never going to be father and daughter. You just didn't, you never played that role, and it's too late to play it. And
I'm
it's
so sorry
just,
to hear that.
oh, it is just, we just went through something recently because his daughter that he did raise recently got married. And so she did invite me to the wedding, to her credit. Thank goodness I didn't have to lie. I did have a work obligation. But he like really tried to pressure me to go and was like, you need to, get over your personal stuff and be there for me and my child.
What?
Yes. And I was just like, do you not understand that? I mean, I don't feel like it would destroy me to see him walking her down the aisle, but you're not
Right.
even grasping what that might feel like to me to see something like that. And you just think I'm supposed to come there and play nice because you've decided to acknowledge that I exist now. It's not that easy. It's just, and just to see him just not acknowledging his kids like that. I was like, you don't know how that's going to affect them for the rest of their lives if you don't get this right now. Because they don't look like they're in school yet, or maybe one or two, at least in elementary school. You better get that right, brother. Don't mess up these kids because you don't know, or you just want to start over and forget mistakes of your past. But a child is never a mistake anyway. But it just, that this was triggering to me in a lot of ways.
Ray Dallas said, been there, done that one for real.
Hmm. Yeah, you don't play with people's because I look, I'm 46 and that still bothers me. And I'm a grown woman now and that still bothers me.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
still
mess over
bothers
kids.
one of my girlfriends who had a similar story. It still bothers her.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can. And
He
so
abandoned
I am not a
her.
fan. I am not a fan of him.
Me either.
Ooh.
Me either. And see, and you know what? That's the thing about it when you do stuff like that, right? Because we all have relationships that don't work out, but
Mhm.
we don't foresee the effect and effect it's going to have when you do find that love.
Mhm.
And with Ashley, he's found it, but he's got this checkered past,
Mhm.
and it wouldn't have been as checkered had he just simply told her the truth and let her make her own decision. She could have said, you know what, you got 3 kids, that's part of your past,
Mhm.
and let's just move on from here.
Yeah, I mean, look at Love After Lockup. These women be these women be they take on men with a whole lot worse. So
You know,
so I'm
ain't
like, yeah,
got
you
no
could have just
job,
told
no
her the truth.
prospects of a job.
You could have got you could have won her over by telling her the truth. You never know. You'll never know now because you lied about it. But
Look, ooh, what was it, Shantae and True? Turned out she turned up when she woke up her eyes and put her eyeglasses on. He was
oh
cheating,
yeah,
and she let him cheat.
right, right. Yeah, you are so right. That's such a good point. If he had just said this and put this out there in the beginning, and I don't understand how you thought you were gonna be able to hide it. Like, what did you think you were going? I mean, I don't. Oh,
I think that what
I'm.
people don't realize is when they put themselves on these shows, for some people, it's a hobby, it's a thrill for them to hunt your ass down.
Yeah, or a job, right? There's people that do this for a living now on YouTube. I used to say to myself, how in the world do people, but people are making big money doing background checks on the Bachelor contestants and all of this stuff. These people are getting
Really?
rich. Yes, and they literally get paid. So the minute they leak the contestants, there's a guy, Reality Steve. He spoils the season every single season. He's been doing it for years now. I don't know if he does a technical background check, but he exposes stuff before the show even airs. Like the Golden Bachelorette, I know who wins that. He's never been wrong. He's never been wrong. And I think there's people on staff that be leaking stuff to him at
Yeah.
this point because he's so popular. But I just mean when it comes to YouTube and stuff, there's people that do commentary, which like you and other different people that do the commentary on the show itself, but there's other people that do something a little different. And what they do is they go behind the scenes and look up these people, find out the tea behind the tea. And some people feel like that's a little bit, of an ethical issue, like leave these people in their personal business alone.
Mhm.
But I mean, you choose to go on TV, you can't really. You want to be a celebrity, you got to take everything that comes with it.
But they're not celebrities.
Yeah, well, they do become that though. Think about it. People magazine, People is covering these people now. TMZ got Nick coming out of an airport 2 days ago. I saw it on my Instagram feed, and I was like, TMZ is following Nick and Hannah, and they were saying that they were trying to decode whether or not him and Hannah were still together. And he was, he talks in code because he's under contract. But I was like, dog, TMZ cornering Nick. So they are
What?
celebrities now. They are celebrities now. Love is Blind is a bona fide celebrity making show now. Because if TMZ reporting on you, and I follow TMZ, so I was like, oh wow, okay.
Oh
So
my
they are
goodness.
celebrities now. They may not make the money a lot of them make, but it's serious business for these people now. So
I
I
think
don't
this
understand
season
how
was
he
a
didn't
little
think this would come out. How you
disappointing.
gonna have kids, dude, and you don't think nobody gonna figure it out?
Yeah, people gonna tell that. People gonna tell that. I mean, the baby mama's gonna come out and tell that.
Yeah, or maybe he succeeded in what he was gonna do. He did get her to marry him, and that's what we've heard. So I don't know. I don't know,
All
but
right, so
it's.
you're gonna have to let me know about Taylor
I can text you
and
so the
Garrett
folks in
because
the
I
chat don't
want
want
to
to get it
know
on.
whether or not they got married, but then I don't want to know because I mean, at this point, it's just the two of these couples. Because Marissa and Ramsy, I don't think going down no aisle.
Yeah, no, I won't ruin it for folks in the chat. I understand. Like I
No,
said,
I
I never.
understand.
Yeah, it doesn't. It
Email
doesn't
me.
bother me. It bothers a lot of people, but it never bothers me. I'm fine with knowing stuff who wins because I feel like it makes me watch it closely, and I get to read between the lines more on what I'm watching because I'm like,
And
oh,
see, I
okay.
wouldn't be surprised.
See,
I
I
like the
don't.
shock
I
and
don't care. Now I can be surprised, but I'm a person that if there's a spoiler, I'm gonna read it. But I'll just text it to you. I'll text it to you. It doesn't bother me.
any closing remarks? Thank you so much for coming up. This was I love this.
Yeah, thank you. I needed a break. I got to get back to packing and closing up shop out here. But no, I just it's an enjoyable show. I just like I said, it's hard when you see the families go through it, and that's what I hate seeing when families get invested and they see their child's heart get broken. Ooh, thank you. You put that comment up so I can see it. Thank you, Ray Dallas. Yeah, my flight where the car service is getting here at 4:15 in the morning. Ooh.
Oh my God. Kiss my ass.
Well, it's a 4.5 hour flight, so I'll be able to go to sleep.
And I always say that, but I can't.
Yeah.
So I have learned stop lying to yourself. Pay the extra money or whatever it is because you don't want that Uber sitting outside of your fucking house. If I can't. I can't. I
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
I
I'm
am an early
planning this other
riser.
one and it has a departure time of 6 a.m. I said, ain't no way.
Yeah, I have no control over this because the Johnson and Johnson, who's doing my mom's treatment, they're paying for everything.
Okay.
So they
Oh,
they
that's
set up
fantastic.
everything. So it's like 4:15. They're picking me up. I was like, okay, all right. I guess I'll be
That's a
ready.
blessing.
Yeah, the real blessing is that she gets through this treatment. That's what we're praying for. That she's gets through this successfully. But yeah,
You
but
know, you and your mom, especially your mom. Look, your mom before you stay
yeah,
in my prayers. I'm
yeah.
always thinking
You
about your mom.
always acknowledge her. You always do, and I thank you for it. I
You
really do.
so welcome. You so welcome because you blessed to have your mom.
Yes.
So I really take that seriously.
Yeah.
So my prayers are always with you, Tam. You know that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
I
you for coming
appreciate
up.
it.
And the next one, you're gonna have to come on up, girl, because I don't know what this finale gonna be about.
I know. I
I
know.
think
Now
it's gonna be
tomorrow,
some
I'll be.
trash. I
I'll
think
be
they're
at the
gonna
house.
avoid talking about stuff and everything. I don't think it's gonna be all we think it's gonna be.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. It should be interesting. I hope I don't miss your Married at First Sight one. I'll be in your time zone tomorrow, but I'll be just getting there. So, well, hopefully I won't miss you tomorrow. But I can't wait to hear you talk about Married at First Sight. That show
Because
was
I'm
funny
coming
last
back.
night.
I'm coming back to it. I looked at it yesterday, and then but I didn't digest it. So, and I was going to do the 1,000 pound sisters. I am also doing. Let me show you what I'm doing.
Uh oh.
I already made the thumbnail for it. Hold on, let me find it.
While you finding it, I know I found it so funny this season on Married at First Sight. The white girl said she want a light skinned black man. And Puerto Rican guy
Girl,
said he wanted him a blonde, blue eyed white girl. I said, oh, okay. We just putting it on out there being
we putting it out
friends.
there.
I said, oh,
Can you see
okay.
this?
Let me see. Uh-uh.
Yes.
It's
Come on,
blurry
camera.
right now. Oh, House of Villains. I've never watched that one because I watched Traitors.
I'm getting
So
ready to do Traders, which is on Peacock,
yeah, but
and I'm
they're
doing
off
House
now.
of
Like they
Villains.
already had their season.
I had heard about them, and I was like, girl, I started watching it. Girl, it is a good kiki and a damn caca.
House of Villains. Okay, I might download it and watch it on the plane. House of Villains. How many
Yeah,
episodes am I
watch it. It's on
behind?
two. So that's why we not far behind. But I'm learning now that I used to be like, oh my God, I gotta put this down, put this there, I gotta do this, I gotta come out. I'm learning now. But you
Hmm.
get out there when you get out there and the audience is gonna come. If they want to see it, they see the thumbnail, they're gonna look at it. Like you gotta get a personal life. Because I had gotten to the point where I had no personal life
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
trying to make deadlines. So
Hmm.
tonight I enjoy being with you. I'm going to reschedule my video of the 1,000 pound sisters because
Okay.
I have to get up early in the morning and do some things, and so I need it's mandatory that I get the correct amount of rest that I
Understood.
need in order to be successful.
Well,
So thank
thank you for being
you.
you. I don't even watch Thousand Pound Sisters. I just watch your reviews. You are so amazing. That's how good you are. I don't even have to watch the
What?
show. I don't watch it. I just watch your reviews. And it's entertaining enough. So
And
thank
I
you
think
for
I'm gonna
being
get up
you.
in the morning and do it because I mean, like I gotta get up, and sometimes I be wanting to come out with like my little robe on and my cup of coffee and talk and stuff like that. But people could be so critical.
Oh yeah.
So I
Yeah,
just
I
like,
was like looking rougher than this, and I was like, "Well, let me come on camera and talk with Auntie." But I was
girl,
like,
you got
"Dang,
one of them swoosh swooshes. You got a swoosh swoosh. Okay.
these twins."
You
I was
know
like,
me,
"Oh, let
I'll
me try
pop
to
me
look
a hat
presentable."
on and come out, or a hat or another hat. Okay. Until I decide, because I'm tired of putting all these braids in my hair. It's time for me to embrace my hair and
Hmm.
figure out, am I gonna keep all of this hair or am I just gonna get rid of it?
I've been twisting
That's
my hair for the last, I don't know. This is not all mine, but it's all natural. But I twist my hair and do it myself every 6 or 7 weeks, and I love it because I don't have to do nothing to it but wash it.
And see, I don't have that skill. I never even learned how to plait really.
Mm.
And so I have to go to a shop, but I just have to figure out whether or not I am going to. I don't even know how long my hair is anymore.
Hmm.
I wash it, take the stuff out of it, wash it. Sometimes I attempt to twist it. I don't like the end, so I know I would have if I decided to wear it like you got yours right now. I would have to
Hmm.
go and get the ends cut on it and embrace it that way. But natural hair, is a lot of work.
Oh yeah,
It's a
that's why
lot
I
of
twist it.
fucking
That's why I do
work.
this. That's why I do this.
That's why I be doing my twists and my braids because I'm like, but I really do. I have to figure out. I really want to go all the way bald. I've been there a
Okay.
couple of times before, not all the way, but I've had my hair like it before, and I liked it.
You
But
can
that's
rock it. I can see you rocking it with some big earrings and stuff. I can
oh
see you
yeah,
doing it. Oh yeah, I
oh
can
yeah.
see it. I do. I can see that. I can see that being a good
I'm
look on
thinking
you.
about going all the way back there, and I want to. And
Hmm.
my girl, two of my girlfriends got their hair platinum. It is
Okay.
so beautiful.
Yes, it
But they
is.
was like, honey, it is maintenance.
Oh, now see, that's the one thing I can't. I can't. I like to be able to get up and go. And like I said, wash it and put a towel around it for about an hour because it does take a long time to
Yeah.
dry. But
Let me tell you, I
mm,
got so much hair back here. It's just unbelievable. Like I said, I don't even know what the length of it is anymore because I have not had it blown out I know it's been over a year. It's not even been blown out. I just
that's
wear it
me
in its
too. Actually,
curly
it's been longer
natural
than that for
state.
me. It's been about the same, maybe a little longer for me. I haven't blown my hair out, and it's all natural now too.
Yeah. And I know
Yep.
it's long because you keep yours in,
Mm-hmm.
and twists and stuff like that too. So I just like, okay, do I want all of this here? And then I don't like it because when you sleeping at night, it's all up on your neck. I don't like that. I've never liked
Mm-hmm.
that. So I'm just like, you know what? I've got to make a decision on what I'm gonna do. So up until probably until December, I'll be wearing hats, different hats. This hat, a
Okay.
scarf, or a wig or whatever, until I really make the decision about what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Well, you
Because
can rock it either way.
yes,
I like them. Yeah. You got it. You got it.
yes, I can do it. I can, and I know I've had my hair short before, honey blonde, red, burgundy. Like I mean, I used to do it all. So I mean, I know how I look with short hair, and I'm
Mhm.
absolutely fine with it.
Yeah. All
So,
right.
but I
Yeah.
love
Maybe put
you,
it in you.
boo.
I love you too. Thank you for being
Okay,
here.
send your
You just
mom my
brighten my
love,
evening.
please.
Yep. All
Send your
right.
mom
Bye,
my love.
everybody.
Bye. Y'all, thank y'all so much for being here and for welcoming Tam to the chat. Y'all let me know downtown. And thank you all so much for your best wishes for her too. I don't know if she safe travels. Let me see. Okay, yeah, and I got the one from Ray Della. So thank you all so much for your best wishes to Tam and her mom as they go through this treatment. Thank you so much, JW, for becoming a member of Auntie's Advice. Y'all let me know downtown in the comments section what y'all thought about this episode of Love is Blind DC season 7 episodes 10 and 11. Love y'all. Bye.